So here we are. You, standing at the crossroads of your own despair, and I, watching, waiting, as I always do. You look for a hand to pull you from the abyss, for a voice in the dark to guide you home. You cry out, whispering to the heavens, screaming into the void, hoping, praying that someone will hear you, that someone will come, that someone will save you. But let me tell you a truth older than time itself. No one is coming, not your family, not your friends, not fate, nor gods, nor the universe itself. There is no cavalry cresting the horizon, no hero waiting in the wings to carry you away from the burdens you refuse to bear. There is only you and the weight upon your shoulders. How many souls have I seen wasting away in the waiting, hoping that if they suffer long enough, if they cry loud enough, salvation will find them. How many have perished with prayers still on their lips, never realizing that the only hands capable of saving them were their own? I have seen warriors brought low not by blade or battle, but by the lie they clung to, the lie that someone else would pull them from the wreckage of their own making. But let me tell you something else. If no one is coming to save you, then no one is coming to stop you either. Do you understand? There are no chains upon you but those you refuse to break. No walls before you but those you are too afraid to climb. You are the architect of your own escape, the sculptor of your own destiny. You are not powerless unless you choose to be. You could rise. Right now, you could move. You could act. You could change everything. But will you? Or will you stand there waiting for a salvation that does not exist? I have watched the ages turn. I have gathered kings and beggars alike. And do you know the difference between those who lived and those who merely existed? Action. The ones who lived did not wait for salvation. They became it. They carved their names into the bones of history, not because they were chosen, but because they chose themselves. So ask yourself now, as I watch you stand there frozen by your own hesitation, will you rot in the waiting or will you rise in the taking? You hear my words, and yet you cling to the lie. You still hope, somewhere deep in that fragile, flickering soul of yours, that if you wait long enough, if you suffer long enough, salvation will arrive. Perhaps you believe that fate owes you something, that destiny will correct its course, that justice will balance the scales, that the universe will take pity on your plight. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. The universe is indifferent. It does not see you. It does not hear you. It does not care. The stars do not whisper your name. The heavens do not weep for you. The world will not halt its turning simply because you struggle beneath the weight of your own inaction. I have watched empires crumble, their rulers begging for a second chance. I have gathered the lost and the forsaken, their lips still trembling with final prayers that went unanswered. I have taken the hands of those who spent their lives waiting for rescue, for mercy, for something greater than themselves to intervene. Do you know what all their waiting earned them? You think your suffering is special, that your burdens are unique. No, child. Suffering is the constant of existence. It is not suffering that defines you, but what you do with it. You are at war, not with the world, not with your past, not even with me. You are at war with yourself, the part of you that begs for comfort instead of conquest, the voice that whispers of rest when you have not yet earned it, the weakness that tells you to kneel when you should be standing. Do you think you are weak? Do you think you are broken? Do you think you are doomed to this life of waiting and wanting, of longing for a miracle that will never come? Then you are already dead. But if there is even a fragment of you that still fights, if there is still a single ember buried beneath the ash of your apathy, then listen closely. There is power in your hands, in your blood, in your breath. You could forge yourself into something greater. You could tear through the walls that confine you. You could rip the chains from your skin. You could become the force you have been waiting for. But only if you stop waiting. Rise. Now. Not tomorrow. Not when it is easy. Not when you feel like it. Now, because the only thing standing between you and the life you claim to desire is you. And if you refuse to move, if you refuse to fight, if you choose to sit in the dark, clutching your own excuses like a child clings to a broken toy, then I will be waiting, not with pity, not with sympathy, but with the cold inevitability that awaits all who waste the time they were given. The sands fall, the hourglass empties. The choice is yours. Will you take your life into your own hands, or shall I?